She told me off in the back of a McDonald's. It only cost a Big Mac. This shit like $3. I think I'm getting kicked out of the place. Straight face, Ronald be chasing. I'm running for my life, it's crazy. I'm feeling like Bowser with Daisy.
What's up, guys? Current TDZ here, and I'm just letting you know that this video is somewhere between 3 and 5 months old. Basically, I found like 8 to 9 videos that were just in my PC that I had already recorded, but forgot to edit. So, if you hear anything that conflicts with recent events, it's probably because that video was taken at an older date. So yeah, with that out of the way, enjoy the video. What's up, YouTube? We're back at it again. Another collaboration. Been a minute.
Yes, it has.
But yeah, so
This is what, 11 at night for you?
yeah, 11:10.
It's
Ready
10
to
o'clock for me, and I have been up since, what, 4 o'clock?
dang 4 p.m. or a.m.
a.m.
Oh, that's crazy. See, I've only been up since like
No,
7
this is a whole
a.m.
day for me.
Yeah, see, I thought I was up for a long time because I was up at 7 a.m. But you were up longer than me.
Yeah, no, dude, I wake up fuck early.
Yeah. Well, this is my team, as you guys can see, and then this is Toxic's team. You know, we have a pretty good two teams set up here. So, let me pull up our challenges actually, because we did have our challenges the other day.
Oh, you pulled.
Yeah, we already pulled the challenges in the other video. Yeah, after that video is edited, we edited this video. We'll edit this video, and then we get them out. So, let me find those challenges. They are right. Here we go. Okay. So the first episode we had here off, these are random generated challenges, by the way. Just like not random generated, but like generated from Total Drama episodes, like actual challenges. So the first challenge we have here is Jamaica Me Sweat.
Yeah.
So
The boogie board.
yeah.
So basically, the way we're going to do this, it is the best of 5.
Alrighty.
So basically, the way I have it right now, the teams are already set. For me, it's just the way I see them, because I'm at my tier list on my phone.
Right.
And also, these can make for some decent dynamics. Raw start, you know?
Yeah. So first, retake me on how this challenge went. I know that the part about Izzy getting injured. So
first off, they had to jump from a cliff into water to get a treasure, and then they would get an advantage in the second part.
Okay.
Which was by killing. As you remember, Amazon won that challenge.
Right. So here, I think this would probably just be more of like a straightforward kind of challenge, as I don't think anyone here would be, what's the word I'm looking for, sabotaging it in the way that Alejandro did. So this would be more of like a straightforward, like who's better.
More skill.
Right. It would take more skill than sabotaging.
So, I have the races up and ready. Just because I randomly did these. There's no rhyme or reason. So for your team, your first 2 up is Noah and Brick.
Okay, Noah and Brick.
And mine is LaShawna and Amy.
Shauna and Amy.
And things that we're gonna need is communication and teamwork and just skill.
Okay. So on my team, I think they have communication, um,
Yeah, yeah. Your
teamwork.
duo definitely would have much better communication.
Yeah,
Because Amy is basically a rip off Heather.
yeah. So she would probably be
I'm
less.
not Heather. I'm not saying that.
You said what?
Amy is a rip off Heather.
A less, way, way, way less better Heather.
I think I said rip off.
Yeah. Just to,
Yeah, but yeah, your team would definitely get a point.
yeah.
Then the next two is for you. You have Scary Girl and Wayne
Hmm. Okay,
versus my team, Jasmine and Pete.
Jasmine and Pete. Okay. Here, the communication on your team would definitely be better.
Yeah, and Jasmine could easily solve this challenge by herself.
Yeah, she's very skilled. Probably like no cap. Probably the most skilled person here besides like doubtably scary girl. But like that
Yeah.
she's just like a very physical strength. But her communication skills are like terrible.
No. Yeah. Jasmine.
No, scary girl.
Scary Girl. Sorry, I did. So yeah, no, Scary Girl. Her communication skills are pretty bad, but yeah. But so I think my team,
You would
my
get that
duo,
one.
take the win on this one.
Yeah. So who's next up?
All right. So your next one is Lori and Jay.
Interesting. Lori and Jay.
And mine is Elodie and Carrie.
Okay. I'll tell you this right now. Your duo wins this one. And the reason
But you think Elodie would always be second guessing herself.
true, but I feel like her original calculations would be pretty on point, and like Kara would just be like, all right, we going with it, and they probably do way, because she would probably definitely try to calculate how like the exact angle to do this and that. Um, I feel like Jay might like pass out just being there on the thing. Like you'd be like, no. And Lori would just be like, come on, we going.
Yeah.
And Lori's not
Yeah.
probably not the best communicator.
Yeah.
So
And
I
then
think
finally, you have Ripper and Rock versus Kitty and Dwayne.
yeah. And this is a weird one because Kitty and Dwayne Kitty has good communication skills while Dwayne not so much. But then you also have Rock, who probably has pretty good communication skills, while Ripper also not so much. So it's
Here's the thing. I think Rock and Ripper hit it off almost immediately.
that is true. I do believe that as well. I do think they would become
But
close friends.
because here's the thing. Dwayne is a chronic screw up.
True.
So I think that your team will take the dub, leaving us 2-2 and making us go to a tiebreaker.
Right. So in the tiebreaker,
We will choose two characters from both our teams, and that's that.
okay.
This is all for the marbles. I already know the two I want.
Okay, and that is I'm guessing Lashana and Jasmine.
You got one, Jasmine and Kitty. LaShawna, she sometimes has some issues with communication and keeping a level head.
True. Okay, now for me, I'm going to say I'm actually just gonna keep the very first pairing, Noah and Brick, because I feel like I feel like they're a nice brain brawn duo.
Alright, I see that. But who do you think would win?
Now I do think that your duo would win because they have better physical and mental, while my duo is like one or the other. Noah's more mental instead of brawn, Brick's more brawn instead of mental. So they would just have more of both. I feel like to be able to get them through this one. because Kitty
Yeah,
and
so
Jasmine are both.
that means your team loses.
Yeah. So my team goes to elimination.
Hey, it was close though. It was
It was
close.
close. It was close. Now I feel like probably three main options here. One would be Jay for probably not really helping that much. Another would be Scary Girl for just being overall scary. And then the third, I think, would actually probably be Lori, because Lori would probably have treated Jay like, kind of got a little angry with him, possibly, because he might have been difficult to, he might have been difficult to work with, and she was probably less than patient. But I feel like out of these
But,
options, Lori would be the safest
dude,
one.
dude, so here's the thing. You got your interactions.
What?
Like alliance.
Oh, right, right,
Remember
right,
alliance?
right, right, right.
You know, since I won, I'll go first. For sure, Jasmine and Kitty or me are probably gonna hit it off.
Yeah.
And I think Ellie and Carrie will start developing a friendship along with Pete and Dwayne.
Okay, okay. I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
And then Amy is just watching everything and just studying.
Okay. I see. I see.
All right, and that's basically my interactions
Okay.
for the round.
So, if I'm being real, I think there's a clear trio formed on my team of Rock, Wayne, and Ripper. I think the three of them would like
I
really
think
hit it
here's
off.
the thing. But here's the thing: Wayne and Ripper would be at odds a little bit over the whole cheating scandal season 2.
True, but I feel like Rock probably being friends with both of them would probably be like trying more like, let's bury the hatchet, guys. Like this is a whole new season, whole new thing, and Wayne would be like, I can forget, or I can forgive, but not forget, and Ripper would be like, I don't really care either way, as long as I'm not going home. And I feel like Rock would probably see like he would probably have a lot of confessionals saying he sees the best in both of them, but like getting them to work together sometimes is probably like not not the best, not the easiest. But Noah, I feel like probably just same thing as Amy, just watching. Brick, I feel like Brick would probably connect with Lori a little bit, and then Jay and Scary Girl are kind of just there doing their own thing.
Yeah. So who do you think would be eliminated?
In the end, I feel like they would vote off Jay because Jay was just the least help. I just don't see a way that he would make it out as like I feel like even Scary Girl and Lori like they tried to help. Like I feel like he would have just got scared and just like like, kind of like bailed himself out of the challenge. And
Yeah.
I don't see him being much help. And like they might have already like consider like we already have brains in Noah, so like we don't really exactly need Jay. So I feel like they would probably just end his suffering.
All right. Yeah. That's pretty much that.
Yeah. So the next challenge we have is the can't help falling in Louvre.
Ah, yes, but that's a good challenge.
Yeah. So the world tour challenges I do remember. I remember like
Also,
pieces. This is what were you about to say?
I need to make things fair, so you can choose one of my characters to sit out.
Okay. I feel like after the way the last challenge went, I feel like my team, probably mainly Noah, would be like, yeah, we choose Jasmine to sit out
All right,
because she
but
would be the best.
let's add a little twist to this. All right,
All right.
that character also gets immunity,
Okay. That's good. That's good. That's good.
but they can't sit out twice in a row.
That's also that also makes sense. So they would know that sitting out this challenge, if they lose, they cannot sit out again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like
So
that. I like
if
that.
my team loses, Jasmine is immune.
Indeed. So she's safe regardless. She's just chilling.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
in this challenge, communication was key, if I remember correctly, because they had to like guide them through
Yeah.
the lasers and all that.
Lindsay also basically soloed the challenge herself.
You said who?
Lindsay.
Yeah, she did do this challenge by herself because DJ was off doing who knows what. Um,
And your team also has the advantage.
in which way?
Just with Noah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Now he wasn't very
But-
good, but he did kind of do decent. And then in the like he was good at avoiding the lasers.
Yeah.
So the way this challenge worked, they had to like, did they have to go through the lasers? Was that just like a part of finding one of the pieces?
Horrifying one.
Okay. So I feel like here,
Oh. Yeah, my team's at a severe disadvantage. I'm just saying it now. My team's at a disadvantage.
for which reason?
Dwayne's a klutz.
Yeah, we've seen that multiple times.
So I think that that the team would be neck and neck, and then Dwayne pulls a DJ
Okay, yeah.
and just destroys the entire thing.
Yeah, that would be. That sounds a lot like Dwayne, to be honest.
Yep, but here's what we're going to be doing. I don't think Dwayne will be up for elimination.
I have two guesses who could be instead of him, but I'm gonna let you continue.
Because here's the thing, I think Carrie and Dwayne will start to get along very well at this point. And them noticing that there could be a very big majority forming if they don't act soon. So I'm just going to say this: the bottom two, 3 votes Amy,
Ooh.
and 5 votes Kitty.
Kitty this early is crazy to think about.
Look how, but look,
I can see it
Kitty's
though.
a very is a very outgoing person.
Yeah, and
Whereas Amy is more standoffish, which means she would just be easier to pick off in the long run.
true. More someone who can like I feel like if they were talking with each other, they would be like, look, Amy can go anytime. Kitty, who knows when we'll get another chance at this,
Yeah.
So I can see it.
And this would also be Ellie's ideal, and Carrie would not be too fond of it. Because her and Kitty are, of course, friends. But Kitty does not hold it against her.
Right. Now, the only thing I will say is the reason why this works very well together is because a lot of the contestants on your team, and well, really on both teams, actually are from the Redonkulous race. So they would have all known how good Kitty was in the Redonkulous race. So that would have further been why they probably looked at her instead of Lashana, because they can't vote out Jasmine. They're the so they would look
Yeah.
so they would instantly look at those two.
Really does not have anyone to connect with.
Exactly. So they would have probably first immediately been like, well, Kitty was a threat. She might be the biggest one we could take out right now. So
Yeah.
so I feel like that was very well together.
Yeah.
All right, the next challenge. We have Breakback Mountain.
Oh, alright, so first, thing is, they gotta make it up an obstacle course. Last team to do so wins. But you have to get your full team up there.
Right. So they would have to get their full team up there, up in a up into a up the mountain, whatever. They would have the things that would be in their way. There would be the pillars, the alligators, the bears, the bear
Well, the
cave.
thing is, it's a bit toned down.
You said what? A bit toned down.
It's a bit toned down.
Okay.
Say it's like season 1.
Okay. More like not what's the word? Less deadly.
Yeah. I guess they could get hurt, but not seriously hurt.
Right. So I feel like here, especially since Jasmine like kind of like lived through that, I feel like she would be a good leader.
Yeah, and also I think she just carried Dwayne and Pete to the finish line, basically.
Yeah, because we've seen she's been able to carry whole people in one hand before with
Yeah.
Leonard and Sean. They're much smaller, but still. And I feel like also here we would probably get to see more like I think Wayne and Ripper would more start to argue here.
Yeah.
And we would actually start to see actually a little bit of a divide on my team, and I feel like that would be in the end what causes my team to lose the challenge, because first Jasmine has
Yeah.
good leadership skills along with she was there for this challenge originally, and then I feel like with Ripper and Wayne fighting, it would throw off Rock's game. Brick would probably be thrown off. The only people who would actually be focused would be like Noah and Lori, but that's not enough to get the whole team up there.
Yeah.
And who knows what Scary Girl's doing? She's probably going off to find another skull. Who knows?
Yeah. But here's the thing: who would ultimately? So and let me go with my team because there have been a few shifts in the dynamics.
All right.
Because right now, Carrie's more drifting away from Elodie after the last vote, and she's been hanging around with Pete and Dwayne a little more. And
Right.
Elodie's slowly starting to drift toward Lashana and Jasmine.
I could see that.
And with Amy now basically being the swing vote.
Okay. So I like that. I like that dynamic because it's actually very similar on my team as there is a swing vote. So I feel like here, and this would come to like basically an elimination thing where Ripper and Wayne would both be campaigning the other to be eliminated, right? Wayne
Well, all right.
Wayne would get Brick on his side. Wayne would also get Lori on his side because they're more of the nicer people out of the other options. And I feel like Noah would just agree with Ripper because I feel like Wayne would be more of a hindrance at this point. Like he's good at challenges. He's like his endurance is high, but like his IQ is low, and oftentimes he can be very clumsy. And then
Yeah.
I feel like Scary Girl would probably just vote with them to be like, why not? Leaving Rock, the friend of both, to be the swing vote. So,
Yeah, but I think I think we'll probably be the best bet to go here.
who do you think? Who are you? Who are your guesses right now?
So here's the thing. Rock votes himself.
Interesting. I was actually
Because Rock's
that.
that kind of person who he don't like choosing between friends.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that was one of my pathways I was going, and I feel like with that happening, it would just be like a tiebreaker challenge between Wayne and Ripper. And if it's a tiebreaker challenge related to the challenge that happened, who do you think wins this? Come on. It's
Alright, so what do you think? So, thing is, I am going to go to a classic game that I used to play as a kid. Basically, you would put like a towel in your back pocket, like a hand towel or rag in your back pocket,
Okay.
and one person would have to get it for the other.
Oh, okay.
If
Okay.
the towel falls out of your pocket,
I'm
the first
familiar. I'm
person
familiar with
towel to
this
come
game.
out of the back pocket loses.
Okay. Here, hand-eye coordination would be very helpful. And you want to
Yeah,
know who has negative hand-eye coordination?
lame.
Yeah. But you want to know what I feel like would actually give Wayne the win, though? I think
But this could go either way. Because here's the thing:
they're both very clumsy.
Ripper, huh?
They're both very clumsy and like they're not they don't have the steadiest
Uh,
hands.
Ripper is really not that clumsy unless something just unless like when you see Ripper being clumsy.
Not even clumsy, he's just very prone to injury. Like a lot of the times he'll trip over
But
nothing.
then that was, but then that is more he really couldn't avoid it.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
once he was blindfolded, that got hurt a lot.
True. And I guess the other time that I was thinking about, I seem to forget about this part, but Axel did trip him. So,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe
yeah.
he's not as clumsy as I
Ripper
thought
is,
about.
yeah. So I think Ripper
Does
would
win.
also be able to outsmart Wayne and to pull in his
Yeah.
own thing out of his pocket. Like,
Probably,
and then,
because...
yeah, you use that towel to wipe some of that sweat off your forehead. Oh, thanks, man.
the craziest
But
part
that
is...
would be a very Wayne thing to
I was,
do.
I was just about to say, the craziest part is I can see that actually happen and be like, oh yeah, why don't you use that to wipe some sweat off your forehead? He'd be like, oh, thanks, bro. Then just like wipes his forehead and be like, you know you just lost, right? Oh, dang it. But yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that happening. And also, I didn't take into account that Wayne is very easily tricked. So,
Yeah, no.
and Ripper is quick to trick someone. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So now the next challenge. So now the team dynamics have kind of changed. I feel like also after seeing this, Rock is also a pretty upbeat, steady guy. So I feel like Rock would not really, he would still be cool with Ripper, but he would also see him in a different light.
Yeah, I know.
The next challenge we have after this one is Tortoise Ringamortis. I believe this is the one where they take selfies.
Yes.
So, I feel like with the people we have on both teams, the best person here at taking selfies, I feel like would probably be Amy.
All right, but remember, so some of these people, some of those animals are ferocious.
True.
So they also may have to stand their ground.
Now that's
Remember,
where...
you can't end Jazz.
Yeah, so I feel like they would probably do Lashana.
Yeah, Lashana is definitely the best bet here.
Now here's the only thing about what you said. That about some of these animals being ferocious. That's where my team would get the edge because of one player specifically. Scary Girl.
Well, Scary Girl. Yeah.
Scary Girl would not be afraid to get up close with a bear, a raptor, anything really.
Yeah, no. And Lori ain't no slouch either.
Yeah.
And Ripper also being pretty tough.
Yeah. So that's three members on my team, but your team's not down and out because you have Jasmine, who
That's
is
pretty much about it.
no.
But like everybody else would be able to get low points, but Jasmine would be the only breadwinner.
Yeah.
But Jasmine cannot stand against Scary Girl, Ripper, and Lori.
Yeah. The low earners would be like basically most of
Yeah.
your team, and then like Brick, Rock, and Noah. Well, it would just be kind of like a 3v1, and Jasmine wouldn't really have much options here.
Yeah.
The only thing is, though, Lashana does have immunity, so they cannot vote out Lashana.
Yeah.
So how does
But
your
all right. First up, 3 votes on Dwayne.
that makes a lot of sense, and I'm assuming that's
You know
Elodie.
who gets eliminated here?
I think I know who, but who
Jasmine.
goes?
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Amy's getting her revenge.
That revenge is a plate best served cold. And I guess Amy said you got 4th place, now you get eliminated 4th.
Yep. And also Jasmine and Sammy are friends, so that's Amy would absolutely do.
Yeah. So that makes sense. And Amy kind of like, is kind of in a good situation, but like at the same time she's not, because like the people she's working with, they'll turn on her in like a heartbeat because they know what kind of person she is. But right now I feel like they would just think that staying with her is the best chance they have.
Yep.
So the next challenge after Tortoise Rick Mortis is the another world back. We're going back to World Tour with the X Files. So
So here is the. So no one here has experience with the X Files,
yeah, that's actually true.
but why the hell do I think Scaregirl would do this in her free time?
No cap. Like let's keep it real. She would probably find one of the aliens, and like let's be real. The aliens would be running from her.
Yeah, no.
And
I'm sorry. This is not even a contest. You win just because I lost lost one of my best players.
yeah, and then that would also be hurting them. So how do you think elimination goes?
All right, so I think that Elodie would kind of try to reconnect back up with the 3, Carrie, Dwayne, and Pete.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, 1 vote against. Ellie is trying to flip one against the other 2. And it is 1 vote Dwayne.
Okay, that's 1 vote Dwayne.
2 votes for Pete.
2 votes Pete.
3 votes Elodie.
I actually seen this one. I thought she was going to actually be the one that got eliminated last. When you said Jasmine, I actually thought you were going to say Elodie. That was actually my guess. So seeing her go now is not really surprising to me. But yeah, I completely understand why, especially if I don't know who's really in control of the votes here, but if Amy was in, yeah, if Carrie was in control, I can also see that because she probably likes Pete and Dwayne just a tad more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see that. Very very sad to see her go early like this, but it is what it is.
Dude, she had some very good moments
Yeah.
in the short season.
Yeah. So the next.
If this cast was a lot bigger, she could have really done a lot more.
True. Now the next challenge, once again, back in World Tour with Broadway Baby. Now this
That one.
this was the one where they were in New York, and they had
All
to
right.
baby
Remember,
carriage.
I get to sit one of your people out.
Yeah, one of my guys.
Rick.
Okay.
Rick.
Yep. Makes some sense. Brick is immune right now, so he doesn't got to worry about any vote or nothing like that. probably just chilling. Um,
So, first up, climb the top Statue of Liberty. Grab a stroller and get back down.
Dang it! If only we kept Jay here, he could have got stuck in the boobs like Cody.
I'm
But yeah,
sorry.
that would have been a great joke. That would have been a great joke. I just had to mention
Yeah,
it.
no.
I just had to mention it because they're very similar. But yeah,
Cody's better.
the best oh yeah, for sure. But the best people at this, I feel like Lashana would eat this challenge up. Carrie would be probably
Because like she did Shannon.
You said what?
But I think Noah would actually well to convince, would actually be able to convince Ripper to help him hitch a ride on Ripper's back.
That'd actually be amazing to see. That would be W. I could see that. I could also see that very much. Like, you know, be like,
because Noah is very, very physically weak.
Yeah, and let's be honest, very lazy. If he has a chance to, take that chance, and if he couldn't get a ride from Ripper, he would probably just, be like, "Scary girl, take me up." She would be like, "All right," but she would be like, She would be like, "You owe me," and he would probably be really scared at that, so he would probably just, take his chances with Ripper.
I should have picked Ripper actually.
Yeah, Ripper is a
Brick. Because Brick does have a few fears.
Yeah, Ripper is more kind of fearless, but at the same time, there is some things that he's been, scared of, I guess.
Axel.
Yeah, I was just about to say Axel being one of those things, but in this part of the challenge, I think we do have the more physical players, besides Noah, but Noah would be getting a ride.
And
So
Sergio can easily get the stroller.
yeah. Now.
Yeah, no, your team just wins this outright. It's because I have a lot of physically weak players.
Yeah, and I feel like at this point, like maybe like Pete and Dwayne would probably like have a confessional together. It would be like, maybe putting out the Amazon chick wasn't a really good idea, and then Pete would probably laugh about it, like be like, ha. But yeah.
Yeah. But here, so unfortunately, you extend your lead again. But here, unfortunately, I'm gonna say this is finally where Dwayne goes.
Yeah, I was also thinking that this is probably
Cause
where one of the old timers.
Carrie's like, alright, it's time to ditch one. I can't take both, or they're gonna drag me down.
And yeah, and I can also see it because at the same time, Pete is a tennis player, so he's somewhat athletic. Like he has some type of athletic bones in his body, so he could probably help in future challenges more than Dwayne.
Yeah.
And
they have and literally carry that goddamn the big old cheese wheel.
Yeah. So
I get why they did not roll it.
Yeah, I don't understand that. And then anyway, the next challenge is meet me in Tippascal. So this is a Disventure Camp challenge, right?
Yes.
This was
It was the capture flag.
Okay, capture the flag.
I get to set out 2 people.
Yeah, 2 people. Just not Brick though.
Brick and Scary Girl.
You said who?
Brick and no, I can't set out Brick.
Yeah, can't set out Brick.
Ripper and Scary Girl.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Actually, I'm sorry. I don't want Noah to be the Priya.
You say you don't want what?
Noah to be the Priya, but here, so now it's Lori, Brick, Scary Girl, and Rock against Amy, Pete, Carrie, and Lashana.
And let's keep it real. The leadership skills might be good on my team with Brick, but they'd basically be like baby deers going out into the slaughter because the other team is just.
Because Lashana has a damn good aim.
Yeah, and let's keep it real. This would probably be like the challenge. This would probably be like kind of like how the Total Drama Action Challenge happened, where Admiral Lindsay, where she was sending everybody in and they just got slaughtered. Like it would be kind of like that, but like it would be all four of them, and like Noah and Ripper would be watching like, oh my goodness, look what happens when we sit out, bro.
Yeah, no, but yes, you're on. Yeah, but thing is, I think my team takes home this win.
Yeah, because I just don't see the rest of them like doing anything like. And to be honest, like Scary
Alright.
Girl would probably just be
So,
chilling, doing something else.
yeah. But here's the thing: Noah, Laurie, Rock, and Brick are up for elimination.
Yeah. And I
Dude,
think
word.
I think here is where some strategy starts to get played, and I think Noah goes to the two quote unquote meanest people on their team, and like basically try to get them to vote together. Basically, she going to Ripper and Scary Girl, being like, "Look, the three of us are the least liked out of like our teammates. The other three are more likable, so we need to work together for just this one elimination." Scary Girl's probably like whatever. And Ripper probably doesn't want to keep someone weak like Noah in, but Noah will be like, if it's not me, like if we don't vote together right now, I guarantee if you vote me out, you're gonna follow instantly, and he'll probably be like, fine. And I
And
I think there will be one vote which would be Lori, and one vote which would be going to Scary Girl. Lori would be voting for Scary Girl, probably just because she freaks her out. two votes from
uh,
two votes from Brick and Rock to Noah, and 3 votes to Lori. And the reason,
so Laurie eliminated.
yeah, I think the reason why they would more eliminate Lori because Brick is useful in physical challenges, while Ripper would still, feel some kind of, connection with Rock because they're still friends. They're just not as big of friends as before. So he wouldn't, really want to vote him out, especially since they once had that, friendship, whatever. Um, and that would, like, Noah would be like, it's fine. Any of the three is okay. So now there's kind of
Yeah,
like a 5-way divide. The only two people who are actually like really connected is Brick and Rock, who are more friends now. And
yeah,
Ripper's probably starting not to like that, but it is what it is for him. Probably should have took his chance to get Brick out, but
yeah.
um,
That's true. But now,
the next challenge is the bold and the bootyful. I can't remember. There's 2 challenges this could be, and the bold and the bootyful. Cause okay, this one is okay. Yeah, this is the one that I was thinking about. This is the All Star.
Admiral Lindsay.
No, this is the bold and the bootyful is the All Star one where they had to find the 4 things. I think.
All right. So here's the thing. So basically, I get to sit one person out, and and each character has to go and retrieve an item.
Yeah, and the only thing is you cannot sit out Ripper or Noah since they sat out last challenge.
No, Ripper, Scare Girl.
Oh yeah, Ripper Scary Girl, right. So,
But here's who I am sitting out. Rock.
interesting. I actually do want to know why Rock.
Oh, here's the thing. Was one of the things in the dark?
Um, kind of. There was there was the thing. Okay, there was a thing on Fang, right? Then there was the diamond that was on Fang's teeth. There was Sasquatch and Aqua. There was the missing idol thing that they long lost idol or Chris idol, and then there was a painting of Chris that they needed to get. And the painting
Yeah.
of Chris was just like it was in the blown up hotel not hotel freaking cottage as he called it,
Right.
even though Courtney was very it was not a cottage, but yeah, it was kind of dark there.
But here's the thing.
I know where you're going with this too.
Brick's skittish. Brick is very skittish.
And also afraid of the dark.
Yeah. But So Rock is immune. So whose team do you think would win?
I think your team would also, in this kind of challenge, just be better at figuring it out. Like, because out of the options we have here, Brick would just, probably not be like the best because he, like you said, skittish, also afraid of different things, a lot of things. Noah, who would probably be the most strategical and probably best at this challenge, but then you have people like Scary Girl who would go off looking for the coolest like dead animal or skull or whatever. She would be looking for whatever she wanted and not what she was supposed to be finding. And then you have Ripper who would probably end up farting it by himself or something. I don't know. I don't know what he'd be doing, but he probably wouldn't be the best at finding
So
something.
your team does lose again.
Yeah, but Rock is immune, so that's one good part about this. That Rock is has
All right,
immunity.
dude. I'm gonna mute myself real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Okay, so I've been thinking about it, and I think here would be like a such a split vote. I think Ripper votes Brick. Scary Girl probably votes Noah. Noah probably votes Brick too.
No, I think that Noah is going to break and rock to vote off Scary Girl.
That's an interesting.
Isn't the merge coming up?
Yeah, it is coming up, and he would, and yeah, you're right about the numbers. He would have looked at the numbers and been like, had the 16 player cast. We have 9 players left. Usually it's halfway. That's next. That's after this challenge. So he would probably go to Brick and Rock. Probably talk to them and be like, Scary Girl's a threat. Merge is definitely coming up. Either next challenge, if not that, the challenge after that. We don't want someone as strong as her left in the game. And and she also didn't help in the challenge, so which would be some more motivation. And yeah, I can see it. I could easily see that. So that was our pre-merge. Now we have our mergers, right?
Yep. And now is basically a free for all. Well, yeah, no. This is kind of surprising, to be honest. I didn't think Pete would make it this far.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm kind of happy to see Pete making it far. You know what I mean? Pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, played a very good game.
Yeah. Now hasn't really made any enemies. Been just chilling. So
It made a few moves.
yeah. So with this cast we have here, I think that the first thing that happens during the merge, like after the merge is announced, Noah goes over to one of the stronger players like Lashana and like, look, I want to work together. Lashana would be like, we haven't really had the best track record, like they never really talked, to be honest. The only time they talked was when Lashana was roasting him at the end of his elimination in Island. But he would be like, you're pretty strong. You're a social player. I'm not as social, but I'm more intelligent. We could be like a brain brawn duo. He would be like, and whenever you don't need me, we can figure out something after that. And she would be like, it's the best offer she has right now, so I feel like she would take it.
And I think something else, because remember, Rock's on very good terms with Carrie.
Yeah.
So Rock, Brick, Carrie, Pete, that is already a 4-person alliance.
Yeah, and I feel like at this point, this is where Amy would start to talk to everyone else and be like, all right, are y'all just gonna sit back and let these nice guys make sure they don't finish last? And that would be like, the main drive of this episode. But this challenge is the first merge challenge, and this is, wow, that was very loud. Sore losers.
Oh, the ones that they have to fly, make their own flying contraptions.
I think so. I'm about to double check.
How does this work? So here's the thing. Well, I think what happened.
Oh, Sore Losers is the finale from the reboot season 2.
Oh, that one. Right.
Okay.
So basically the eliminated contestants come back,
Right. So let's bring him
and
down.
they're mainly for the paintball. So here's the thing: 2 people are going to be eliminated each round. So basically, the last 2 people to get their wagon to, you know,
And let's keep it real. The last 2 people for each team is going to, or the last 2 people to make it is going to be Noah because he's weak and Pete because he's old.
that is flat out right. And next, it will be people that next they'll need to cross the tightrope.
Yeah. So here, what if we did it where like it ups? So last time it was 2, so now this time 4 people will be eliminated. Since we
Let's
have
do
a lot of
3.
contestants. Oh, 3. Okay, 3 works. So yeah.
So, well, there is one person that some people would a good bit. Some people would be gunning for Ripper.
Yeah, he doesn't really have the best like allies left, you know, and he never really had the best allies in the first place. But like people like Wayne, he would not, let this fly by. He would be spraying him. So he would be one that would be targeted easily. And another person who I think would just lose because they're now this one is not even clumsy, but like also very prone to accident. Brick.
Yeah,
Brick-
Brick definitely.
To be honest, Brick would probably just be hugging the rope and trying to crawl through and probably get like Amy would probably come by and just kick him off.
And then finally, Carrie.
Okay.
Because of her has been LOD's eliminations.
True. So now we have our final 3 for this challenge, and only one can win. So
Who it will be?
who wins this one?
Here's the thing. It is kind of trendier with the actual finale.
You said what?
Caleb is Lashana, Amy's Julia, and Rock is Wayne.
And then and I like this a lot. Rock gets immunity and wins it because of that. And then after the episode, Wayne pops out of nowhere and like, "Hey, you took a page out of my book. Nice."
Yeah, no.
And he would be like, "Yeah, you drew up the perfect game plan, And he would be like exactly what I was thinking. So
And here, I'm just going to do this now because I think Amy will be able to. I think either Amy or Ripper will be able to pressure Brick into flipping.
I think it would probably be Amy.
Yeah.
Amy's more prone to doing that.
Yeah, and you know who's eliminated here?
I actually think they go for Carrie.
Yes.
Because Pete would be easier to beat in a situation. So like I feel like Amy would be like, I would rather take my chances with the old man than Carrie. So Carrie sadly gets eliminated here, which is like actually sad to see because she was probably one of my winner picks, but that's just probably what happens here.
You try to get a majority alliance.
So now, oh my guy grabbed my phone. So the next challenge we have here is Brunch of Disgustingness, and again, we have our winner.
Is down to Rock or Ripper?
Oh, I forgot about Rock. It could be. I was actually, and now that I think about it, we can't rule out Lashana either. Lashana, she was drinking some of them cockroaches too, but I feel like it would be mainly between Rock and Ripper. She would probably fall to them towards like the final 3.
So who do you think?
I don't know.
Pass out.
I don't know. I think, bro, Ripper was willing to eat a tapeworm.
Yeah, it's Ripper all the way.
Yeah.
He needed this.
Wait, what'd you say?
He needed this.
He actually did because I feel like with like the way the teams were at right now, I feel like they would have probably just combined against him, and he's probably like take the chance to be like, yeah, you can't vote me out now. Um, so I feel like the four that were kind of like united together for that last vote, probably more divided now. So I feel like Amy would probably just vote Rock. I don't know. Ripper would probably vote Brick. Noah and Lashana. Who do you think they would vote?
I think they would try going for Pete.
Going for Pete.
Here, so it comes down between Rock, Brick, and Pete.
And I feel like they get the choice of who they get to send home because they have the three over the other splits. So who do you think they vote for and eliminate? I feel like
I think it's because they've actually shown everyone the front runners in almost every elimination. Lashana.
Okay. And she did pretty good in the challenge too.
And have our final six, our alumni.
Yeah. So this is a pretty good cast. Crazy, out of all the girls, Amy's the last one standing. It's crazy.
But the thing is, Amy played pretty under the radar in the right season.
Yeah. Like if she wasn't in the season with her sister, she would have actually been able to do pretty good. She probably would have played like Julia, just like less faking. So the next one is Off the Hook. That's the one from the reboot, right, where they had to put each other on the hook.
Yeah, they had to basically do their fears and whatnot.
So we know out off of fears purely, Brick's failing.
Yep. And also, the person who wins here, I'm sorry, I think this person extends their immunity streak.
Oh, you think Ripper?
Yeah, I think Ripper.
Yeah, he has showed the least amount of fear out of these contestants. The only person who I feel like would have been able to do really well at this challenge would have probably been Amy, but like she would have it would have been between her and Ripper would be like, I'm not going down, and he would probably get a nice little win off. But also I feel like it would make him kind of respect her, and he would ask her who she wants to vote out.
But I think that Pete actually messes up the vote. Cause if they're supposed to go for Noah, but Pete forgets and votes Amy.
And then
and represents Noah to sadly vote off Rock.
I already have my cursor on him because I already knew where this was going, and it does sound about right, especially in the final five. And I'm not gonna lie, the person I feel like the most not underdog, the person I did not expect to be here at all was Pete. Pete had actually played a pretty decent game, made allies and stuff like that, So let's see how this plays out, So the next challenge we have set up here is canoodling. This was the Redonkulous Race challenge, I believe, right, where they had to catch the catfish.
Yeah, no. So basically, this challenge is whoever catches the most fish. I'm sorry, I'm giving this to him. It's Pete.
Yeah, I can see him. I could see him being a good fisher. I just think he'd be just catching fish. Now, two people who I do see going at it in the challenge would probably be Ripper and Brick. I feel like they would be going at it a little bit in the challenge, but I just feel like Pete's on the side, just catching fish. Just keep doing it. He's sitting there chilling, catching fish. Everybody else probably arguing. Amy probably doing a little bit of arguing with Noah too. So got a little bit of tension.
And I think gonna be eliminated here.
Who are you gonna say?
Ripper. He's already won the communities.
Yeah.
And he's also been very good.
Yeah, I feel like this would kind of be like a Duncan situation from Total Drama World Tour, where everybody just voted him out, and he was like, I expected this. Ripper would probably say the same thing, and I can't be mad, can't be surprised. I won the last two challenges. He said, you guys are just threatened by me, too good.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
the
very
next,
good for him.
so now there's kind of like a duo here, and I feel like Noah would be talking to Amy like, we got to work together if we want a chance at even making it farther. We got to take one of the duos out next elimination. And the next challenge is the Lord of the Ring Toss. And
So basically, they have who's best at ring toss, and Brick is goddamn on it.
yeah, I feel like he's doing great, and I think that here is where it becomes a tiebreaker between Pete and Noah, because because Brick and Pete would think about it, who's easier to beat, and they would be like Noah.
Part, but Noah has experience with this challenge,
Yeah,
so
so it would be Pete leaving in the final four. Did really good though.
also, dude, if we do multiple series of this, we need to do an All Stars.
Yeah, and this season is the first in the spectrum, so be looking out for some of these guys in All Stars. All right, guys. But yeah,
Now,
we're down to our final
thing,
three. Our final three. The final three challenge is the slip and slide. This is I believe, the challenge from Disventure Camp, where they were sliding, where they had to do like a little water slide, and then they'll shoot the basketballs. I think like the little basketball in the hoop or whatever.
Rick wins this one as well.
Yeah, he's the best physical player here, and probably the only person here who played sport. Well, I guess cheerleading is a sport, and I think it's like a fact that Amy's a cheerleader, but not that kind of sport. So
Rick to choose between Noah and Amy. I mean,
yeah, Noah and
who
Amy. And here's the thing: I think he actually takes Noah because Noah's easier to beat.
I think he would actually take Sammy just because Noah has basically been on a lot of people that he's close with.
True. Yeah, it would probably. Yeah. I forgot. He's a nice guy, so he would take it. He would take some of those things personal. So that means our finale is Brick versus Amy. Brick versus Amy. That's a pretty cool finale, actually. I like it. So the last finale challenge is the one that we basically like combine the Sucky Outdoors and the trial by triathlon, right? So basically, like, is because it landed on the triarm triathlon, we couldn't think of anything to do, so we spun again, and that's how we got the Sucky Outdoors or whatever. So I feel like here it would be like basically kind of like the Sucky Outdoors, but like you said, they would be chained to the person who they disliked the most in this season. So for for Brick, it would be Ripper. He would be chained to Ripper while trying to complete the challenge. For Amy, oh my god, I wish Amy was here, but she's not. So I think we go with Jasmine.
Jasmine for Sammy, and here's the thing: who do you think would be more likely to hash out their problems?
It's hard because Brick is more of a nicer guy, so I feel like he would be more eager, or he would be more to do that. But also, it's $1,000,000, and I feel like Amy, if she's actually has a chance at $1,000,000, or she's in this situation, she would be like, all right, look, we can agree to not like each other. You know what I mean? Like me and you, we have our differences. You like Sammy, I don't, but help me out. I can, maybe give you some money or whatever. She would probably try to cut a deal with her or something like that. And I feel like Jasmine, she's not really one to hold grudges. So I think she would help her out. And Jasmine is probably the best challenge threat here. And so, like, in this...
thing, I think the boys would have a decent head start.
True. Because they would have probably solved their beef way before she did with... What's her name?
Jasmine is just way stronger and has a lot of experience with this. So I think that it would just come down to a neck and neck, just running. it's basically a three-legged race. So it could just come down to just bare bones teamwork. I
And
think Brick wins.
so Brick wins. Amy gets second, alternate winner. And there you have it, guys. That is the elimination order of what are we calling this season? What are we calling this?
The the TDW, Total Drama Wheel.
Drama Wheel. This was season 1 of the Total Drama Wheel. Our finalists were Brick and Amy. Our winner Brick and our runner-up Amy. We have our other contestants: Jay last place, then Kitty, Wayne, Jasmine, Elodie, so on, so on. So this is the pre-merge. Then we have the merge. Then we have our finalists and our winner. So I think this is a pretty good season. I won't lie. I think this is a pretty good season. I think it played out pretty well. What do you think?
Yeah, no. Like a lot of characters that people count out very early, like Pete, Amy, Dwayne. They actually came in and actually developed a good bit.
So who do you think who is your most surprised pick of how far they got or how low they got?
Pete.
Yeah, I was figuring it was Pete. But
like lowest, I'd be Kitty.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Kitty was the runner up for like if you didn't pick Pete, I feel like you were gonna go Kitty, possibly Jasmine. But this is a pretty good season. I liked it. I like doing this season. This is actually pretty good. I kind of just woke up from a nap, so this is pretty good. This is a pretty good thing to do. You know what I mean? I'm glad I was able to.
Alright, so the characters that we just used?
Yeah.
They are off the board.
Off the board. So they're off the board for the rest of our generations until, All Stars when we pick it.
You're off the board. And if we do it, if we land on them, we have to suffer a punishment.
The punishment like last time, or something new and different?
Yeah. Or do the same as last time, or the comments could actually help us out here.
Oh, okay. I like that. So we'll leave it up to the comments, and the rest of the watchers, the viewers. You guys have the power.
Yeah.
Use it with great power comes great responsibility. So
all right.
Well, that was it for TDW.
I'm pretty sure you're exhausted.
You said what?
I bet you're exhausted.
Yeah, probably finna go right to sleep after this. But this was TDW, the Total Drama Wheel. It was a really good season. I actually really liked it. I liked all the placements. I think it was interesting, and can't wait to see how the next one turns out. Cause I feel like there definitely will be another one in the future. So,
yeah.
But with that, that's TD's 8 and Toxic TD with the collaboration. Signing off. I hope you guys have a great day.
Gave it my all, but it never was enough. I tried to be there for you, although times was rough. I tried to work up my confidence, make it pop. So all my efforts for nothing, guess it's a bust. Thought we had something going on like that was